Friends, welcome. Eric Andreas, your guitar sage here. We're going to have a blast today, friends. Today we're going to be talking about how to create your own guitar parts for songs. This is something you can do. It's literally something you can learn just using a modicum of music theory. Don't be scared of that. Every single guitar player, every single musician in the history of the world knows music theory, knows some music theory, even if they say they don't. That just means that they don't know that they know music theory. Because if you know any sort of pattern, any sort of chord, any sort of scale, any sort of anything, if you know how to, if you tune your guitar to a specific tuning, you're using music theory. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. This whole idea of not needing music theory, it's just basic knowledge. Instead of using the word music theory, let's use the word knowledge. We're just going to use a modicum of basic fretboard knowledge in order to create guitar parts. The more of this you know, the more equipped that you're going to be able to do this sort of thing, okay? So we're going to have a blast. We're going to go for about an hour. I'm going to be using this song that you just heard called The Valley by a project that I'm in right now. I love it. I'm so in love with it. My buddy Gabriel, and the project's called Gabriel the Bull. I'm playing with my best friends, and I'm playing a kind of music that I love, which is rock mixed with, I don't know what, Spanish, Southwestern vibe. So I absolutely love it. I get to use my Gretsch. I get to use all the saturated reverb and delays and stuff, and I absolutely adore this music. So this is part 3. We've done 2 of these before where I taught you other tunes. Now, the tune that we're going to be working on today is available to you in several different ways on Spotify, on YouTube, etc. There's a link below. You'll see a paragraph telling you about what we're doing today, but at the bottom of that, there's a link. It would be very important. It is very important for you, okay? I implore you to click that link because it's going to take you to my website where you can download the PDF. Okay, and as I'm chit-chatting right now, you should be doing this because this is going to help you. If you don't take the time to download that PDF, you're going to be lost, chances are, because I have a chart for you there that I created for you so that we can go over this together. And I'm going to show you how to read that chart, how to understand blocks or bars or measures of music so that you know, okay, this particular measure is a D minor. So why is Eric playing that particular lick there? And then I'm going to show you the shape of how I came up with that particular riff or whatever and how it relates to the chord. We're going to do this a few times and you're going to start getting this, and all of a sudden the lights are going to go on for you. I've had so many emails about this series that I'm doing right now. People are like, Eric, this is the stuff that I needed. Okay, so I promise you, I'm going to deliver on this today. You're going to learn how to do this stuff. This is what the pros do. Okay, this is what session players do. It's what live players do. And you're going to learn it today, okay? A few things really quickly. While other folks are going there to get that PDF right now, please, if you like me, if you like the stuff that I'm showing you, do me a solid and click the like button. At the very least, click the like button. It takes 2 seconds to do it. And if you don't like it, hit the dislike button twice. Comment below and share. Okay? So you got the PDF below. That also takes you to the page where you can view this on, you can listen to the tune on YouTube or Spotify, I believe. Okay? What's that? Or Apple Music. Oh, thanks, Mike. Mike is the best. He does all those links for me. Also, you'll see something pinned at the top of the chat there that's Buy Me a Coffee. We call it Buy Me a Burrito because we don't drink a ton of coffee here, but we eat a lot of burritos. Okay, so do that. And Mike is hungry, so you know what to do, all right? Hit that link there. A couple other things really quickly while the other folks are downloading that PDF that you can find in the description of the video, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You should be doing that right now. I'm going to tell you about some things that we have coming up, some things that are important to you, okay? Joe Robinson, you've seen him here on the show. He just dropped 2 mega courses. One of them that's a bestseller already on Udemy. Fingerstyle guitar from a world-renowned player. You literally have access to Joe Robinson via email to ask questions and 18 hours of solid instruction. Okay, this guy is not only an amazing teacher, but he's not only an amazing player, he's an amazing teacher. His advanced course is dropping this Saturday. He's going to be doing a live show. We're still waiting for confirmation from Joe, but he's been doing it for like 38 weeks straight, so we're pretty sure he's going to be there this week. So he's dropping that course this Saturday. He did that in co-op with YourGuitarSage here at our studios. So that's dropping this Saturday. Be looking out for that. If you don't have the beginner or intermediate versions, we're going to put those on sale for you as well. The whole collection, nearly 400 videos, nearly 400 videos and nearly 18 hours of content. So for less than what it would cost to do one lesson, say, at Guitar Center with a guitar teacher who probably doesn't want to be there. No offense to the guy that does want to be there. I loved teaching, but you get the picture, okay? Also, next month, July, right? Yeah, sure, July. We're in June. Joe's is dropping in June. In July, we got so many of these courses that we're producing because they're such great stuff, and I'm so excited about it, as you can tell. Melissa Pierce, my beautiful bride and hit songwriter, #1 hit songwriter here in Nashville, Tennessee, has done a songwriting course, okay? Mike, thank you so much for bringing out that beautiful guitar. Right now I'm looking at, I think it's like a $3,000-ish guitar. I'm not going to tell you anything more about it, but it has something to do with Joe's course. So be looking out for that. We're going to be giving that away, okay? Next month, Melissa has her songwriting course that's going to be dropping. Corey's in the studio with us this week. Oh, yeah, Corey Congilio. You know him and you love him. He's doing a blues soloing course with us. The beginner course he's going to be doing this week, and then there's an intermediate course that he's going to be doing in a few weeks from now. Be looking out for those, say, August, September-ish. That's what we're going to be looking at. Also on that page, the PDF, you can join the tribe, which is basically Gabriel the Bull. We have something called the tribe where you can join and get all sorts of information about the band that you normally would not get. All sorts of really cool stuff, okay? And the very last thing is, we got pedals on the way, friends. The Dueling Ninja that's been flying off the shelves. In fact, I think we might have 1 or 2 left right now. That's why I haven't been saying anything about it. We have 7 that just were made. These are very boutique, man, hand assembled, handmade here in the States by my buddy Mark Kerr from Kerrtronics down in Houston. He's got 7 of them on the way, so if you're interested and you want the Dueling Ninja sound, it's badass. That's all I'm going to say about it. You can check out RJ Ronquillo playing one of these on the page that we have that's at YourGuitarSage.com. Just go to the store, click on the Dueling Ninja link, and you'll be privy to that. Okay? Awesome. Okay, I'm going to look very quickly at the chat, make sure I'm going to say hi to a few friends and see if there's any questions to start off, and then I'm going to teach you how to play this song, okay? We're also going to pull up, I should have done it already, but we're also going to pull up the PDF, okay?
It's too bad we didn't connect that.
Oh, crap, we didn't do that, Mike, did we? Is that something you can do? Is that a pain in the butt? I mean, I can stall. Yeah, if we can't do it, it's okay.
We're going to figure...
I'll tell you what, it's better that we don't. Because the
We're
kids at
gonna
home
figure
need to
this
download
out.
that PDF.
No, we're going to figure this out.
Okay, no problem today. Your
Don't
teachers
mind-
have led me to complete my first song today. Woo, love that, Jonathan. What did you say, Mike?
Don't mind stuff appearing on the screen.
Oh, look at Mike. He's such a freaking ninja. That's perfect. That's not in the way at all, Mike.
How do you like the positioning?
That's perfect.
I enjoy that spot. Here, then I can trace you just like that and just make sure it's always...
Come on. All right, so that's perfect. Yeah, let's go with that, all right? Okay, so here's the deal. This tune is called The Valley, as you can see. And in the upper left, hey, yeah, that's perfect, Mike. And then you can make that a little bit bigger because I can barely read that with my old man eyes. All right.
Here we go. Hold on.
The guys make fun of me all the time because I have my chat super big, my messages. They make fun of me. Okay, as we can see, this song is in the key of F. It's really in the key of D minor, but talk about it all the time with you guys. There's related major, there's related minor, relative major and minor. And what that means is for every major key, there's a related minor key, and for every minor key, there's a related major key. And related means they have the same sets of notes and the same sets of chords. I think by now most of you have this because I explain it like this. Do you ever wake up in the morning, it sounded like an ad, here we go with an ad. Do you ever wake up in the morning feeling really pissy? Yeah, well, same you, but you got off on the wrong side of the bed, right? Or you wake up that morning and you're super happy, right? You go get a coffee the day that you're pissed off, people are gonna think of you one way. You go there super happy, they're gonna think of you another way. Same you, it's just what you're working with that day, if you will, okay? So think about related major and minor as they're working with the same sets of chords, the same notes and what have you, but how those notes and chords are played and what sequence and how often, what have you, it's going to lean major or minor. But they have the same sets of notes. You go to a piano and you play all the white keys, then you're either playing in the key of C major or you're playing in the key of A minor, okay? How you find the related major and minor is if it is a, if it's F, we're in the key of F, you're gonna go down 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3, and that's how you're gonna find your related minor. Every single time, on every single instrument, down 3 half steps. And if you're in a minor key and you wanna find the related major, you go up 3 half steps. That's it, don't complicate it, it's that easy. I'm in D minor, if I wanna find out what the related major is, I go up 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's F, I know that note's an F, so as you can see on that PDF that you've downloaded already from the link that's in the description of the video, and here it is again on the screen, it is, we're in the key of F, okay? Not only are we in the key of F, we're also in 4/4 time, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you show that again, Mike?
We're gonna try it.
Okay, here it is. Okay, so there it is, okay? Now, in the beginning, right? Now, let me show you something else. You see on the left there, oh, you see also a quarter note and it's equal to, what does that say, Mike? It doesn't matter, whatever it is that's the tempo of the song. So if you have a metronome click and, does it say? 122. Okay, so it's just, it's slightly faster than marching band, which is 120. That's typically what folks march to is 120. It's a certain meter that works well with marching. It's the same tempo as this song, a little bit faster. Okay, so we got that. That's the basics, and it says the valley. And now let's look over to the left. You see I, V, C, T, A, and so on and so forth. B. Okay, so I is for intro. V is for verse, C is for chorus, TA is for turnaround, which is basically the intro again. But if it's in the middle of the song, you can't call it an intro again. You'd have to call it a middle-tro or something. So it's called the turnaround. You got a verse and a chorus and a bridge, and then another turnaround, and then a chorus out. Now, let's talk about a few other things. This is in 4/4, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, right? We're counting like that as opposed to a waltz that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's straight beat 4. And notice that in that intro there you have D minor, C, C, and you have a dot, which is just a separator. That's all it is. It's just saying, hey, here's 4 bars, here's 4 bars. It doesn't mean anything except it's a separator. That's all it is, okay? So don't be thrown off by that. So that beginning part is 2 measures of D minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, C, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, G minor, 3, 4, B minor, or B flat, major, D minor. Now, I know there's an A in there, but here's the deal. Notice that on this intro here, you see a letter, and that represents 1 measure, or 4 beats. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that takes care of the first 4 measures. D minor, we play that twice, and C, C. We play that twice. And then the second part here is that G minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I play a B flat minor, or just B flat, which we could play here or here, doesn't matter. And then I skip over the A and I play the D minor. Because the A goes by so quick. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. So notice that there's an underline under that B flat and that A. That's called the split measure. Okay, or in this case, it's called a mixed measure because there's 3 and 1. So essentially, if it were a split measure, there would be no hashtags above the chord. So there's 3 above the B flat and 1 above the A. That's because it's a measure of 4, and we need to know which chord gets what. If it were just underlined, then automatically, here in Nashville, we would read that as 2 beats, 2 beats. So B flat gets 2 beats, A gets 2 beats. But since I've got the hashtags there, I'm saying to the whole band, this B flat chord is being held out for 3 beats, and the A is for 1 beat. So in that case, it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's exactly what the bass player does and what the other guitars do. I don't do that because I'm special. No, I'll tell you why that is in a minute. Well, I'll tell you right now because I might forget. If everybody is doing everything right on the beat every single time, it can get monotonous and mechanical. And so we don't do that. Sometimes we drop out for a beat and we let it swim a little bit. Okay, we'll talk more about that in just a moment. And then there's another measure of D minor, and then the very last measure, we're still on line 1. I just want you to understand how to understand this and read it, okay? And then that last measure, there's a D minor and an A, and you can see there's 3 hashes above it, and then the A has 1. In Nashville, what you'll also see is sometimes you'll just see 3 hashes above the D minor or that chord, and you won't see anything on the other. Because why? It's assumed. We know what it is. It's a shorthand, so we're trying to make it as simple as possible. Once you get this, you don't have to have that other hash, but I do it just because why not? It takes a second. But technically, in the studio, if you saw that, it's a measure of 4, and if that D minor gets 3, well then duh, the A gets 1. Make sense? Okay, cool. You got this. So now, notice that, so this is something I want you to understand too, is that a lot of times people take a 3-4 minute song, they freak out about it, they're like, look at all those chords, it's crazy, it's madness, ah! No, it's not. Look, let's do a little assessment here. D minor, I see a C, I see a B flat, I see an A, I see a G minor, a G minor, and that is it. Do you see any other chords there? No? Yeah? No, me neither. So 5 chords. Can you play these 5 chords, friends? I think you can. So when I talk about breaking a piece down, I say, well, learn the inventory. Learn the pieces first, because if you can't play the B flat, well, then every time a B flat comes up, which is a lot, you're going to have a problem. So you learn the pieces, the 5 chords there. Once you have that, then we integrate the pieces, okay? Then we learn the intro. Then we learn the verse, which is played 3 times here, as you can see, 2 times, as you can see. And then you learn the chorus, which is played 3 times, as you can see. And then you learn the bridge. The turnaround and the intro are played 3 times. So now you're really taking 5 chords and you're learning, 4 parts here, but they repeat instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're like, 9 parts. It's like, no, it's 4. We got a lot of repetition there. And it's the same 5 chords in different orders, okay? Couple little tweaks. So once you start managing this in your brain and you start not melting down and having that frustration feeling because you have a grasp of it, you can understand it now, okay? Now, something else I want you to notice, look at line 1 of the intro, look at line 2 of the verse. They are the exact same. Now we're talking. Now you're not having to learn as much. If you look at the 3rd line, it's the same except for 1 chord. Right? Yeah. Now the chorus is a little bit different. That's fine. Okay, we got a little variation there. Now look at the turnaround. Same as the intro. Look at the verse. Same as the other verse. It just has that B flat chord in the end. So really, the intros and the verses so far are all the same except for that 1 little chord. Okay. Skip down to the second to last, the turnaround and the chorus again, or just the turnaround. So we have the intros and the verses and the turnarounds are pretty much all the same, right? And then the choruses are all similar to each other. So I just want you to understand that it's not as difficult, not nearly as difficult as you think. And this is what I do with every song mentally. Now, back in the day when I was just learning tunes and learning this process, I had to pour over them, and that's okay. That's going to be that way for everybody. It's the rite of passage. It's the gauntlet that everybody has to go through in order to get to the other side, okay? Now, let's see, is there any other thing here? Okay, let's go to the chorus here, and you see C, C. I won't go over all that. I'm just looking for anything that's disparaging or that might jump out. I don't think I put a hashtag over that C. So you can see there, I didn't do that, and that's kind of Nashville-y, where sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Okay, and then notice the second line of the chorus, there are two A's with diamonds around them. In Nashville, when you see this is, by the way, this is called, this is quasi Nashville number system without the numbers, but this is how one would write a chart in Nashville. Very similar to this, except it'd be handwritten and it'd be scratchy, like a doctor's notes. I like to make them real nice like this. I do, however, if you click that link that I have for you in the description, I have the number system version of it too. For those of you who have been tracking with me, understanding the number system, understand the absolute amazing power of the number system and how it will transform the way that you understand this instrument. Life changer, game changer, okay? The biggest revelation for me is understanding the number system, what it means to music. The number system's easy. I could teach it in 5 seconds. Understanding the notes, that each one of the notes is a scale step, and they're just numbers. But actually utilizing it, actually integrating it to the way that you're learning songs and you're playing songs, what have you, will absolutely revolutionize the way that you play guitar. So follow my videos on that inside of UGS, and then I know I have some here on YouTube. Okay, so that diamond there, we're talking about that A. In Nashville, when you see that, you strum the chord on the 1, and you hold it out, okay? Now, when I originally created this chart, we played the song differently than the way that you heard it, because now we're going, we'll go to that B flat. But for right now, the way that I have it is kind of an older version of the recording that we had, where we just go 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see 2 diamonds there. If it did not have a tie, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would strum on the 1 and hold for 4 beats, hold for the whole measure. If it were in 6, we'd strum on 1 and hold for 6. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it doesn't matter what the timing is, 4 or 6. The diamond means you hit it on the 1, you hold it out for the whole measure. Notice there's a little tie there, a little semicircle that ties them together. That's just like regular music. Musical notation, when you have a note that's tied with a note like that, it just means a continuation of it. So you don't play the note again, you hold it out for that duration. So in this case here, it's 4 and 4, that's 8. So I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Okay. Anything else about that chart? Yeah, let's go to the turnaround and notice the very last, so this is the second section from the bottom. By the way, for those friends that are like, why didn't you get to playing? This is the stuff that you're not learning that's screwing you up. So just listen to me. I'm going to help you. This is the stuff that people try to skip over. And I just want my fingers to move. That's not how it works. You got to know. It's not the fingers. The fingers are the messenger, okay? It's the medium in which your brain delivers your emotion. That's all it is. You've got to get this stuff in your brain to know where the fingers are going to go. The fingers just don't just go. Doesn't work like that. Okay, so notice that turnaround there, and notice the very last measure. You see that D minor, and then there's a rest. Okay, that's because if you hear that part of the song, we stop abruptly. Okay, that's all it is. Cool. Now, Mike, can we keep that up? what does the zoom look like? Can you push me over to the right a little bit so like they can see my neck? Is that possible? If not, we can. Okay, yeah, take your time. Okay, so while Mike is doing that, let's talk about the intro here, okay? So you heard, oh, and let's talk about tone too. Obviously, I'm using the 6120, my Gretsch. It's 1959. I'm so proud of it, and I absolutely love it. One of my favorite guitars ever.
Put your finger on the 3rd fret, so something lands. Oh, close.
Yeah, I'm on the. Yeah, you can tuck me down in the corner there a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. And I will be going down to the 1st fret there too.
This is how they know it's live.
Yeah. Oh, we're live. Oh, it's live. Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect, Mike. Look at that.
Just a little bit.
It looks like a tutorial video. Today you're going to learn the E minor chord. All right, so let's talk about tone real quick, and then we'll get to the guitar parts, okay? Again, this band really allows me to dig in with these old cowboy tunes and stuff. This is what I grew up with. I just love the sound. I grew up listening to Ennio Morricone and Adam Ant and all these other guys that were using Gretches and some alternative bands and what have you back in the day, rockabilly and just all sorts of bands that would use Gretches, and I just love that sound. So using the Kemper here, coming up with some kind of cleaner tones that you can hear. A little bit overdriven, soaked with reverb for that great sound, right? And we have a little delay in there. And that's on the quarter beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 122 beats per minute. Okay, cool. All right, so that's the tone I'm using. Now in the beginning, I'm also using a kind of a vibro tremolo, if you will, pedal. And so for that old cowboy sound. Okay, so that together, using a little bit of delay, quite a bit of delay, quite a bit of reverb, and some tremolo. And a little bit of overdrive too, okay? Now, for that very first lick, let's talk about it, and we're going to analyze it. This is where the fun begins, right at the 12:30 mark here. This is where the fun begins, okay? Someone's saying, what's the symbol on the last chord of the A? Yeah, we talked about that. That's a tie. All right, so the first part here is D minor, C. And let's just take the first 4 measures. So it starts off. Okay, so let's talk about it. D minor. We got a D minor chord. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. How did you come up with those parts, Eric? Glad you asked. Here we go. Basically, what I did is I took a D minor triad. Triad's just the first 3 notes of a chord, really. In this case, for a D minor, it's a 1, a flat 3, and a 5. I talk about that in the free course. You can get that below as well, YourGuitarSage.com/30, and I teach all this stuff. So if you're getting lost, you need the basics, and I got you covered, okay? So it's a D minor chord, and so I play this, which is just an arpeggio. That's all it is, okay? An arpeggio is when we break a chord up. And so I just play it like that. Here's my D minor, my D. And then this next chord, I really try to play really low notes for this band. My solos are kind of in the lower register and stuff because it's 2 nylon string guitars. We don't have another guitar backing us up. We don't really want that. And it's just the sound that works for this band. Plus, I just love that deep tone with these guitars, okay? And then which leads me to this next lick. Okay, so that's a C chord that I'm playing over, right? But let's think about this for a minute. If I wanted to make that C chord sound lower, I can use an inversion. What's an inversion? An inversion is when we take any note from the chord other than the letter name of the chord, C, it's a C chord. If we took an E or a G, which are the other 2 notes in the chord, and we put that in the bass, the lowest note, then we have an inversion. That's what an inversion is. So I could put an E or a G in that lower register, and that's what I did. Is I said that's a G. Okay, so it's kind of like I'm playing a C chord, but I'm playing it with a G in the bass. I could have picked an E. Might work, might sound nice, I don't know. That's not what I chose. Okay, and then for the second part here, the B flat. So what I did here is I said, I'm sorry, G minor. I went. So I'm playing a G, straight up G minor bar chord there, right? And then the next measure is B flat. And the next measure is D minor. Now remember, I'm not playing those beats that are just one beat. I'm not playing the chords that are one beat because it didn't sound right. I could have jumped on it and it would sound okay, but it sounds too rushed. What I'm doing, what I'm playing here are more like pads and more, it's not very percussive or staccato. It's more legato and smooth and what have you. So if I said, which is what the song, is what the acoustic, it's what all the other instruments in the band are playing. But for me, I'm trying to ease into this more and make it sound more smooth, and cowboy-like, right? Cowboy hitting all jittery and stuff like that. He walks in and he's like this, right? So I'm trying to bring that attitude of the guitar into this, which is why I'm doing. Okay, and so what I'm doing here with the bar is I'm playing the chord ahead of time, and I press the bar down low, and I play the chord, and bring it up to pitch. It creates a really cool sound, right? I think it does. Okay, adding to that cowboy sound. Okay, now the first part of the verse, Gabe's singing his heart out, right? And then, let's see. Okay, so what I do then is, let's see. For the first half of the verse, I don't play. We do this a lot too. This is dynamics, right? You don't always want to be playing, right? There's a time to speak. There's a time not to speak. There's a time to cry. There's a time to be joyful. You've heard the old scripture. It's true. And so sometimes it's good to shut the heck up, all right? And let the band do their thing, and then you come in. And that happens a lot of times with verses. It's like big in the beginning, and then the verse drops down, and you can hear what the vocalist is saying. So the first half of that verse, I don't play. And then the second half, I go, let's see, I'm using, without the tremolo, I'm going. I just play that fun little lick. It's very Tom Petty, when I was a kid listening to Just Got Lucky, I think it is, right? Just Got Lucky. And it reminds me of that, very much so. It totally stole that vibe from Petty there, right? So, and that's the second half of the verse. So I'm playing that D. And so I'm going to analyze this here. We got the D minor. So I'm just noodling through the scale here. And so that makes sense. I'm playing that over the D minor, and then I play. And when the C chord hits, I play that note, which is right out of the C chord. Right? Makes sense. So when you're thinking about your licks, what you want to do is you're privy to any of the notes within the scale and any of the notes that are out of the scale, but the ones that are in the scale, the ones that are going to sound most resonant, and you can mess with any of the other notes. They bring the color, they bring the tension, and then you resolve it when it sounds right, which you typically stay on those notes that are within the chord, you stay on those longer, and the other ones you just kind of slide by, you throw them in every now and then. It's like a sauce or some heat, right? Some spice that you put in. You don't use too much, but just enough makes the recipe great. Okay, so that's what you want to do there, and that's what I did. And then the second half of that verse, I do the same thing that I did in the beginning of the song. So I'm just playing that G minor, that B flat, and that D minor, right? And that's the second line of the verse that you're looking at right now, okay? Played it the same way, except I'm not using the tremolo arm, and I'm just giving it a little cowboy shake. Like I got a scorpion on my boot type of thing. Get it off there. You know what I'm saying? You know exactly what I'm saying. Okay, so then we go to the chorus, right? And now we have a C. We got D minors, we got B flats. This one's pretty straightforward. I wanted this to sound like, you know, we're galloping, right? We're on a horse, we're out west. It's going with the whole vibe. And so I do this like talk about that. So that's the chorus. So notice this is a C chord, and I'm just playing the 1 and the 3 intervals from the major chord, C major. So I'm going. Then the D minor, which is like the beginning of the song. Right? That's for the chorus that you're looking at. And then I go to that B flat for just 1 second. To the C, and I'm just following the chords right there. I'm just playing the 1 and the 3 of each one of those chords. Okay, that's all I'm doing. The 1 and the 3 from each one of those chords. I could have done the 3 and the 5. Doesn't matter, but that's not the sound I picked. So what this does is you understand, okay, we're on this chord, what can I do? There's a million things you could do, but let's relate it to the chord. That's what's gonna make it sound cool, okay? Get it? Got it? Good, here we go. And so then I walk back down. Now I did this fun thing right here. And that's because if you listen to the song, it calls for something different. I'm one guitar player, so just like Eddie was always filling in all the spaces, right? I have to do that because there's only one electric. There's 2 nylon strings, but those are laying down a basic type of thing, right? It's not going to jump out. And so I need to be able to play those parts when it's necessary and fit them in to everything that we're doing. Thank you so much for real sweet comments about the song. It's a great tune. I love it. Gabe's a fantastic writer and a fantastic singer. Love the band. Great guys. Okay, so we got that. Makes sense? And then I hit that A there. You see the A. Second line, we're right here, by the way. This chorus, second line, and I'm at the A, and I'm doing that. Now, right there, it's written incorrectly because technically we should go to the B flat, but again, this chart was written from an earlier recording that we did of this tune that just held out that A. 3, 4, 1, 2. Now we're back to the turnaround again, which is the same thing. Here we go, D minor. C chord. G flat, or G minor. B flat. D minor. And then to D minor again. Okay? Now, second verse comes around. Let's talk about bringing people someplace. When you have a song, a lot of times, if you listen to the production, it builds. The chorus, the very first chorus, is typically not as big as the second chorus, and it's definitely not as big as the third chorus and the outro. You want to give a little bit of space in a song or a lot of bit of space, depending on the dynamics that you want to be able to provide some range to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you start off big, go big or go home type of attitude right out of the gate, then you got to know where to go. And people, here comes the second and third chorus, and it's like, it's the same loud ass chorus, right? Who wants that? So you want to lead people someplace. Okay, so same thing here with the verses. So in this verse here, the very first verse, right? Now the second verse, I do the same thing. I don't play for the first half, and then I play that fun little thing. The first time I go. The second chorus, I do a little bit more. I play like 2 extra notes and a couple little slides and stuff different, okay? Just to add it, because if you play the same thing every time, what does it matter? It's just like you repeated something. Have you ever heard someone talk and they say the same thing right after they just said something, or somebody else repeats what they said? What's the use of that, right? So always try to add a little something that catches the ear, that makes it different, but still contiguous. It's the first time I ever used it. Contiguous with the rest of the song, right? Okay. Okay, we're back to the verse. We're back to the chorus. The chorus is the same. Same as the other one. So we won't go over that again. Sure we will. C. Notice that my delay is the exact same timing of what I'm playing. Bum, bum, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So my part is doubled. Right? Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Smedley. Thank you so much. That's all that production is Mike. He's the champ. Okay. All right. So we did another chorus. Here's that D minor thrown in there. Second time. And so this one I really do hold out for that A, and then it goes into kind of like a, which I don't play for, I sit out, but I wrote it because the rest of the band's playing, so I charted this for you guys. I also charted it for the band, and a regular chart doesn't just say, well, this is, you sit out, so don't put anything there. You write the whole tune the way it is, and then that instrumentalist can choose when to come in and when not to come in based upon their knowledge and understanding of music, right? So a lot of times when people look at these charts, they're like, well, how do I know what to play? Those are just chords. As you become more in tune with music, you give this to any cat in Nashville, any legit studio player, they're going to have a field day with that. And everybody's going to play something different, but they're going to play it exactly the way the chart's written. Okay, they're going to play it. What that means is that's sparse enough, that chart is sparse enough that you could give that to 100 players, and 100 players are going to play something different, but you could overlay the tracks of all those 100 players, and it's going to sound great. It's going to work, okay, because they're sticking to the chord. They're doing their own little thing, got their own little tone, own little guitar, way they do things, the amp settings, everything, delay settings, whatever. It's going to be slightly different, but it's going to fit, okay? All right, good. You understand that. So now we did the chorus. Now the bridge is that part I'm talking about, right? And then we're back into the turnaround again, right? And then we're straight into the chorus. Okay? All right, so that is it on that tune, friends. Let's get to some questions. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. You know, I decided to do this series because to me, this is where the rubber meets the road. You can watch 100 guitar lessons and still be like, I still don't know what to do. And I get this all the time. From all the courses that I have, when we've got close to 500,000 students amongst all of our courses that we've got, not including the other artists that we're working with. Just Your Guitar Sage stuff, we have like close to 500,000 students. So I get this question so many times where people say, man, I'm new to the course. This is what I'm having a problem with. Can you help me? And it's typically, I've learned all this stuff, but I don't know how to apply it. This stuff, I promise you, friends, is the quickest way to take all the bits and pieces that you're learning on the internet and put them into how to play a daggone song. No one taught me this. It was literally like learning it as I go from playing for decades and working with tons of students and being in the studio, playing with bands, writing songs, the whole 9 yards. Every little bit, every little piece started summing it all down and making it make sense to me. And now I can package it up really nicely to you without you having to go through decades of stuff, and you guys can learn it in, hours, days, whatever it is, okay? All right, so let's get to some questions. I really appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. That was a long explanation, but it is what it is. It took me, decades. It's going to take you hours and days, maybe weeks. Obviously, you have to integrate this stuff. Very quickly, if you haven't done it already, there's a link to get the PDF because this isn't going to make sense. And if you're just joining us now, that's okay. Watch this again, but download the link. Okay, or download the PDF that you can find at the link that's in the description of this video, okay? All right, I'm going to go back here. And we're going to get to some questions here, okay? So if you have questions, put them in the chat here. All caps if you can, with a question mark. It'll make things a little bit easier for me to see, okay? Yo, what's up, Luke? I've listened to Coyote Run 100 times on YouTube. It's on my playlist. Also, Guardian Angels. Oh, Marine Mama, thank you. You're the best. Okay, what is the symbol on the last A chord? Okay, we talked about that. Yeah, not the tie, the half circle with the dot inside it. The half, oh! Okay, Mike, can you bring it up even if I'm in the way? Bring that thing up here. Oh, look at you, you're a freaking pro. Now, where's he talking about? Hold on, I gotta get up and I gotta look at this. Where the heck is he talking about? You see what he's talking about? Dot. You crazy. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Not the tie, the half circle with the dot inside of it. Oh, yes, I see it right now, friend. Okay. I knew it had to be on there because you're talking about a fermata, also known as a bird's eye. So what that is, in orchestra, you can take that. So we're this line right here, all the way at the end, there's an A, and it's in a diamond, and it's got the tie, and then there's a little dot with a half semicircle over it. Okay, everybody seeing that? It's called a fermata or a bird's eye. Okay, and so in orchestra music or band music like this, what that means is look at the band leader or look at the conductor, because we're gonna stop the beat for a minute. We're gonna not think about the beat so much, and we're gonna need a cue. So that means just hold off, watch the conductor, watch the band leader, and they're going to do this, where they'll put their hand in the air. That usually means the end of the song, but typically, that's what it means. Okay, it means look out, because we need to be in eye contact, and we need to come in all at the same time, right? Yes, Cowboy Preacher. I think he's talking about the bird's eye. You got it, bird's eye, fermata. Okay, good. Oh, super sweet comments. Thank you for all that. Jeff, Kevin, Marine Mama, Lee, beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you, George. Love that you guys are digging this. Okay, parent scale is F major. Yes. A major is a borrowed chord or something? No? Well, let's analyze it. That's great. It's a great question. Let's analyze it. We're in the key of F, right? So if we're in the key of F, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, right? And so if we're playing in a major key, Jeff is very observant here. He's been following along. Nice, Jeff. So watch this. If we're in F major, we're really in D minor technically, but F major is going to have the same sets of chords, same sets of notes. We've talked about this. So, but it's easier to just remember things in one key, in major keys, instead of doing twice the work and learning it in major and minor keys. And most Nashville cats don't do that anyhow. They just learn things in a major key, and you just play off the 6th chord, which is the minor version. Okay, so here's F. So we have major 1, a minor 2, as Jeff is saying, should be a minor 3, and a major 4, and a major 5, and a minor 6, and a diminished 7, and so on, back to the 1. But, so what Jeff so keenly observed is that 3 should be minor. But in fact, we play it major. Instead of minor, we play it major. Now, why is that? Fantastic observation, Jeff. I didn't even think about saying something about that, because pretty much in every bull song that we play, we do that. So what that is for that southwestern sound or that Spanish vibe, you make the 3 chord a major chord instead of keeping it minor. That's a little secret there. And what that does is it evokes the harmonic minor. So essentially, when we throw that chord in there, you know, we're talking about D minor. That's the 3rd, the major 3rd of the A, that note. And so if you want that harmonic minor sound, it's A major, and that's why we do that, okay? So Jeff, fantastic. Yes, that is a borrowed chord. It's a borrowed chord, friends, is when we take a chord from the parallel major or minor. So in this case of here, we're in D minor, or D minor, or F major, however you want to talk about it. Then you would get it from F minor. Okay, so the F minor. Technically, that's what a borrowed chord is when we're borrowing from the related major or minor. So technically, this wouldn't be a borrowed chord. I would call it a borrowed chord, but that technically wouldn't be correct. I use it more loosely. I mean, just anything that I'm borrowing from another key. But technically, borrowing a chord, it comes from the parallel major or minor. So this is a sound, though, Jeff, is that if you want that southwestern Spanish type of vibe, you take the 3 chord, you make it major, because what that raised 3rd from the 3rd chord does is it creates a harmonic minor sound instead of minor. Here's minor. Here's harmonic minor. Cool? All right, great question. Beautiful. Oh, thank you so much, friends. That is really kind. Yes. Thank you. The production. We're working on our production, so thank you. How much your wife's course will cost? So, like always, if you are on our email list, we send out before anybody gets it, and in fact, we create this pricing for only the people that are in our list. We don't even really put that on the internet. I mean, we'll put it on social and stuff, but unless you're buds with us, we just don't do it. Normally, our courses from our artists cost anywhere from about $49 up to $150, something like that. But when we price them, they're like $9, $10. So you end up getting 80, 90% off. It's bonkers. It truly is. So this, like I said, this Saturday, when we drop Joe's course, we're going to be dropping 3 of them, and each one of them are like, his courses are much bigger, so I think they're in the $100 something range, $150 range, $120, something like that, typically. But we discount them for about $10, $11, $12, no more than that, I think. So you literally will be able to get all 3 courses, 18 hours, close to 400 videos from Joe, plus email access to him, like whenever, like literally, you have access to him, and for less than a guitar lesson at Guitar Center. Yeah. Sorry, Guitar Center, and I love you guys. You know I do. But that's just the truth. That's the truth. Okay, there are no 2s, 4s, susses, or 5s in this song. When do you add those? Just because the sound fits? Yes, and in fact, John, I do put a 2 in there. So when I do this, when I go, when I'm playing the, when I play this D minor, this chord right here is a D minor, but I pull off the 3rd to the 2. Okay, now I don't denote that in the chart because I'm the only guy that plays that part. And again, when we're talking about a chart, we're saying this is the basic idea. Look, if you're looking at a picture of a skeleton, or you're looking at a real skeleton, you ain't searching for the brain or the heart, right? Because you know that it's just the bones. And so it's just representing the structure. And that's what a chart does, is it just represents the structure of the song. The chord appears here. Doesn't mean that you can't embellish that chord. And a lot of times there's little rules. When it comes to minor chords, I don't think I've ever been in a place where a 2 did not work, or what we call a 9, so an add 9 chord. I do that all the time. Where minor chord is, I'll put an add 9 chord because it's just cool. So that's an add 9. Okay? Now, the 4s are just suspensions, right? And so you could do that wherever. Let's see. Let's see. Boom, let's see. I could do that, you know? D minor C. I could have played that part, John, and that sounds cool too. And so there I'm just throwing in that 4. 5s are in every chord except for diminished chords and augmented chords, but we don't have any of those in here. So every major and minor chord has a 5 in it. Okay? So when do you add those? Yeah, you just add them because it fits. A lot of times when I'm playing parts, I'm not even thinking. I mean, I'll automatically be like, oh, that's a 9 or whatever, just because my brain works that way. I've done it enough and I've taught enough of it that I kind of know what I'm doing. But at the same time, you don't have to know what you're doing. Gabe, our singer, who's an uber talented songwriter and singer and guitar player as well. He's a beast on the guitar, and he doesn't know what he's doing. Like in regards to the way we might talk, like as far as theory and stuff. I'll say, "Bud, what are you doing there?" And he'll be like, I don't know. And so I'll say, okay, let me see your hand, and then we'll evaluate it. So you don't have to know this stuff. But if you want to recreate it and you don't know how you did it, it's kind of helpful. Also, if you want to speak to another musician and say, no, you need to play the flat 7, then you'll be able to do that. There's also many other reasons why you would want to know knowledge, what we call music theory. You'd want to know some music knowledge. It's good, okay? All right, so that A major is the 5 of the D minor. Is that the dominant pullback to the start maybe? Yes, it is. Yeah, very good. Yes, it is, sir. Nice, Jeff. Very, very good. How did the production of the individual parts go? Did you each record and then send the parts to each other? When did you first play the songs together? Galaxy. Okay, well, so we'd have to talk about each song specifically because they're all different. But with this particular tune, everything but the electrics were laid down. Gabe came to the studio, had his hard drive, plugged it into my computer, and we sat there and I played the parts. And he's like, yeah, that's the part. Or, yeah, can you do this? Because he's, I say as well, he's a great guitar player, so he's got some ideas too, and he'll be like, can you do this? I'm hearing this melody or whatever, and we'll do it. Maybe we'll throw it away. Maybe we'll keep it, whatever. But we kind of play around with different parts and see what works, okay? So that's how typically the way we're doing it, he'll do his production, right? And then he'll either send me the tune, either the 2-track, and then I'll record a part over it, or he'll come to the studio here where we're at in one of my other rooms here, my production room, and then we'll just lay the parts down, okay? Okay, good stuff. Ah, Luana, I'm glad that you're my buddy as well. Ah, beautiful. And she got into Joe's course and loves it. Okay, good. Jim is saying, I love all 3 of the songs. Is there another one in the works? Friends, we can't get these songs out quick enough. We probably have a set right now of, I'm going to say, probably 10 tunes. Maybe 11 or 12, okay? And they're all so cool. And I really do mean that. I don't like being in bands anymore because I got a lot of stuff to do. I got my kids, I got my wife, I got the, YourGuitarSage, showing you guys stuff, doing the lives, building courses, everything else. And so for me, unless that band is serious, unless we're doing something, unless we have some goals, and unless we're moving forward, I don't want to be part of it. So, and even if it has all that stuff and it doesn't sound good and the songs aren't good, I don't want to be a part of it. This group has the songs, it has my buddies in it, which I love hanging out with them. We know what we're doing, we're moving forward, we're doing things, and it feels great. And so you can feel that forward momentum, and it just makes for all the reasons why you pick up the guitar in the first place, All right, good. All right, some other questions, anything that you guys have, and we'll close this out. Okay, while I'm waiting for another question here, friends, really quickly, if you've just joined us, look at the description of the video. There's a link in there that will send you to our webpage, which has a PDF for you to download. You can listen to the tune that we just played, and I'm trying to think, I don't think that it even has those parts in there. No, it doesn't. Okay, so the version that you guys are going to hear doesn't even have these guitar parts in there yet because I hadn't even recorded them yet. So I'm thinking of another tune that we did. It was Coyote Run. These parts aren't even on the track that you guys are going to get, that you're going to get. So even more fun, download the PDF, create your own parts. I won't get in your way. We're eventually going to put my guitar parts on that tune. It's just the way this band came together was literally just like an idea, and then I said, I got to be part of this. This is great. I love it. So now we're doing more stuff and playing out and all the rest. So there you go. Links in the description of this video. Download that PDF. Listen to the tune, add your own parts, come back to this video, see if you want to cop some of those parts, if you get lost, okay? But create your own parts for this. I would love to hear it. In fact, if you want to repost it, tag Gabriel the Bull, tag me, of you playing the tune, any part of the tune, with your own guitar parts. It would be really cool. If you're good enough, maybe we'll have a second guitar player. All right, real quick. This Saturday coming up, still waiting for any questions. This Saturday coming up, Joe's course is dropping on Saturday night. This course is 7 hours long, 111 videos. It's gonna be on sale just for you folks. All right, we just discount this at the very lowest that we possibly can do on Udemy. These my course is $197, and we'll discount it for $10 sometimes. So. Joe's courses, now it's not the Unstoppable Guitar System what I'm talking about. It's a mini course. That said, Joe's course is in the $100-something range. That will be discounted massively. We're also going to discount 1 and 2, beginner and intermediate. So if you haven't got in there, friends, this Saturday, be looking out for it. Are we going to be simulcasting his live?
Yeah, on our channel.
He'll be on our channel. Okay. So look out for that this Saturday on our channel. Joe will be playing live. He'll be kicking off the course, and then we'll have discounts for you. And it's going to be giving away. He's going to be giving away an insane guitar. So just be looking out for that. Okay. Next month, Melissa's Songwriters course is dropping. That will be in July. So look for that near the end of the month, probably the last Saturday or so of the month. Corey Congilio's in the studio this month. He's going to be doing blues soloing. Marine Mama, thank you so much for that donation. So kind. So appreciate that. Corey's in the studio. Woo! And he's going to be doing blues soloing because you guys have been asking. Again, a best-selling course on Udemy. We did a rhythm course with Corey, and his intermediate is the best-selling blues rhythm course on there. fantastic. And I'm sure it's going to be the same thing with these blues soloing, because he's a beast of a player and a beast of a teacher. Amazing dude. Coming in the studio this week to do the first set, the beginner series, and then he's going to be doing the intermediate series. Also, when you click on that link, there's an option for you to go to the Gabriel the Bull website, and you can join the tribe. You'll want to do that, okay? Unlike any band participation, fan club, anything that you've ever joined, this gets weird in a good way, okay? So just trust me and join that, all right? Pedals are on the way. This thing right here, the Dueling Ninja is, I haven't been saying anything about it because we're nearly sold out. We have 1 or 2 in the back. 7 are on the way. Mark got in touch with me this morning. He says, I got 7 on the way, and then in another 2 weeks, I'll have another 10 for you. So those are coming. All right, let's get to these last questions, and then we'll be out of here. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Also, if you haven't already, please take a moment and hit thumbs up if you liked this video. If you didn't like it, hit thumbs down twice. Comment and share this with a friend, okay? All right, let's take these last couple of questions. Have I forgotten anything, Mike?
No.
No, okay. What app was used to create that PDF chart? Jeff, I know, right? It's nice, isn't it? It's called NNS, Nashville Number System, NNS. I got it on Apple, but I'm pretty sure that Droid has it as well. Oh, Jeff, thank you, bud. Thank you so much for the kind burrito fun. Yes, that app is amazing. It's specifically made for the Nashville Number System. Obviously, you can use standard chords notation as well, like I did here. But in that PDF that I'm giving you guys, it also has the number system, and you can easily switch back and forth, toggle back and forth between the two. You just hit a button, and it converts it to the Nashville Number System. So if you want an education in the Nashville Number System, that's the way to do it. It's super cool, okay? Okay, are you still adding to pro jam tracks? Does your busy schedule allow? Thank you so much, Galaxy. We are not doing it right now. We're not adding more at this moment. I don't believe. Have we been, Mike?
No, not recently.
Yeah, we need to get back going with that again. But we have a bunch of them out there. And over the next month or two, projamtracks.com will be up and running. Mike and I are talking about that and planning that and building that, or in the very beginning stages of building that out right now. That's a place where you're literally going to be able to go get thousands, definitely hundreds, definitely over 1,000. I forgot how many off the top of my head, but more than you could ever play of these pro jam track. They're called visual tracks, and to where you can see the chord on the screen, play the chord, so you know exactly, as all the teachers talk about, all the good ones talk about on YouTube, that being cognizant of the chord that's being played during your solo. Because if you don't do that, well then how do you know what to play? It's like, yeah, you can noodle around in the scale and use your ear. That's the way I did that for years, and I still do that. But having some sort of sense of what chord's being played allows you to really be inspired and pull out some really cool licks. In future versions of this, how to create your own guitar parts for songs, for parts 4 and 5, 6, 7, going down the road, I'm going to show you some of the songs where I'm doing solos and how I'm thinking about the same thing. It's no different than coming up with guitar parts, except you typically aren't playing as fast. You're typically playing you're typically playing a little bit faster for solos, right? It's making it more interesting, and you're playing up the neck a little bit more sometimes. So there you go, friends. You're gonna be privy to all that stuff, okay? Just buy an NNS now. It's a great program. I've got no complaints about it. It's fantastic. All right, beautiful. Kevin, thanks so much for the super kind words, friends. If you would, right before you go, share this with a friend. Share, comment, like, let other folks know about it. Love you guys. I'd like to say that next week we're gonna do the same thing, but I don't think the Bull is planning on dropping another song in the next week. So we may change it up next week. Once we have another song dropped, then I'll show you that next song. Or heck, maybe we'll take a classic song. I don't know, but I don't want to get hit with copyright. And so I don't like to do other people's songs anymore because of that, because they're kind of D's about it. You heard me, D's. My son asked me what a D was the other day because my wife said that. She said, "What's a D?" I said, well, dork? I don't know. So anyhow, but we probably won't do that. Friends, this has been a fabulous session today. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Great questions. Love you guys. Links below for all the good stuff. Reach out to me on all social and all that good stuff. And we'll see you. We'll do something next week. I don't know what. I'm pretty sure. We're on for next week, right, Mike?
As far as I know.
As far as I know. I think we're here. We'll do something. All right. Love you guys. See you.